Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Coffee with Stephanie. I'm Stephanie, and I'm happy that you're here with me today. So go grab a drink, go grab a snack, get comfy, because we're going to talk about my favorite superhero, Superman, obviously. We saw the movie about 2 weeks ago, going on 2 weeks. And I mentioned, I think in my second last video, that I was going to be doing a video. So here it is. I'm upstairs in the boys' bedroom because it's too hot to film this outside. It wasn't too bad this morning when I was outside with Lois, but it's in the afternoon now, so it's hotter, and Mother Nature can just, you know, take a hike. I know. That's like the only part of summer I don't like, when it's too hot and you can't stop outside. So yeah, indoors we are where it's cooler, where the AC is. I'm in the boys' bedroom because the bed is more comfortable than the floor, you know. If our room was all set up, I would be in our room, probably sitting on our bed, but it's not. So their bed will do the job. It's, yeah, like I said, a lot better than the floor. Yeah, then I can get up easy. I won't struggle. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, so let's discuss. I think in my last video I mentioned I found 2 comic books at Erenati a few years ago. Well, I found them. I want to get them out. They are like, this one is volume 1, this one's volume 2, but they're not together because this one is from 2019 and this one's 2016. So I don't know if there's other volumes to these. I did try to find out information on this one, Google, but I couldn't. I did find out it's worth like around $50–60 on Amazon. So yeah, so because I did mention I want to start reading and like maybe getting comic books, but like not every single one, just certain ones. I don't have the big bang, you know, theory budget. They had like every superhero, every you know, volume, right, every number, every issue, yeah. But I just want certain ones, and I want the one that Supergirl next year movie is based on, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and what Superman this year's movie, that comic book, I want that one because that one's based on a comic book. So yeah, those 2 I do want to get because I think it'd be interesting, you know, especially not seeing Supergirl yet before Supergirl comes out, just to like kind of compare comic book and the movie, you know. And yeah, I think they are very like I think the movie was very comic book related, and it's about sinking time. Yeah, no, yeah, it just is. We were long overdue for a good Superman movie, so thank you, James Gunn. He did an awesome job, and it was just a fantastic movie. I highly recommend go see it. I already want to go see it again, okay? And I'm thinking about having like a me day. I'm hoping, I don't know with everything going on, but maybe just to like, you know, go on a Tuesday afternoon, and when the movie tickets are cheaper on Tuesdays, and you know, grab a couple of snacks, and maybe like we'll go out to eat, go thrifting, you know, we'll see. But that's what I'm thinking, you know. I think that would be a perfect me day. Yeah, I think so. Hopefully that can be arranged. Yeah, so yeah, I wanted to fish these out because I got these for Henry for his birthday a few years ago, and yeah, he's never flipped through them, so they're gonna be on my bookshelf. I'm going to try to continue to find out if there's other parts to them, but if not, that's okay. I don't think you need to have the whole collection, you know. I think you get the gist what's going on, so, you know, but I'll see. So far I can't find any information, yeah, but we'll see. But yeah, Dollarama, $5, you know, that's great. Just like start the car before they change their mind. So I am going to absolutely keep an eye out at Dollarama when I'm there at the book section, and just, you know, see if there's any ones I want to grab. Yeah. All right, so let's get to the rest of the video. So I do have notes, because there has been a lot that has been going on in the media side of the world since we've seen the movie, so I want to make sure I remembered everything. Lois was in here and she sat right on my notes. Like, she had a whole bed. Like, you can sit on the blankets. I can get washed. I don't care, you know. And like, my notes were right here, and that's where she chose to sit. Like, You know, and all I hear is crinkle, crinkle the paper. I'm like, yeah, thank you. And Lois, by the way, is named after Lois Lane. That's how big of a Superman fan I am. But which Lois Lane? There's quite a few of them. She's named after the Smallville one, Erica Durance, because I love her Lois Lane. She's probably my favorite Lois Lane. Yeah. We all have our favorite Clark Kent's, you know, / Supermans and Lex Luthor's and Lois Lane's, you know, and oh my gosh, I saw somebody put Kevin Spacey in number 4 in their list on Tickety Talk, and I'm like, no, he down on my list. He is. Okay, Jesse Eisenberg, okay, he is last on my list, and then Kevin Spacey as the worst Lex Luthor's. Okay, yeah, you know, knock him down a few notches. but like, that's why I said everybody has their own favorite ones, right? Yeah, so let's talk. I want to make sure I didn't forget anything, so that's why I made notes. Yeah, when I first heard about the new Superman movie, I was skeptical. I was very skeptical because, you know, the DC movies don't really have a good track record, okay? They're not the greatest. They are nothing like Marvel, okay? And we do have some decent ones, but then we also have other ones where it's like, what made them make this? Like, why was this made? Like Wonder Woman, okay, the first Wonder Woman, for instance, was fantastic. Loved it. I saw it in the theater with my sisters. I have it on DVD. Oh, I'll watch it again. I love that. I love Wonder Woman, okay? But the second one was such a hot mess. It was like, who decided to, like, release this? You know, it wasn't good. Like, usually after you have a really good first superhero movie, usually the second one is like, okay, you're going upwards. But no, it went downhill. It was just like, it just wasn't good. It wasn't good. And, you know, it had potential. It did. But I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, you never know of DC movies. But that there have been worse ones. There have been. We'll get into probably, I think, the worst one. But yeah, that's why I was like really skeptical when I first heard about Superman movie coming out. But then I heard that James Gunn, he was in charge of it. He was directing it, and I was like, oh, okay, because I do like what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I do. I like what he did over there, you know. And then I didn't realize that, okay, his brother, because I've been watching like interviews of the cast on YouTube. His brother, I didn't know this, his brother is in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I first saw his brother in Gilmore Girls. Okay, he played Kirk. He will always be Kirk to me. That's James Gunn's brother. I had no idea because I didn't know his real name. I just knew his character names. And on Guardians of the Galaxy, he plays Kraglin. So he has the arrow that got passed on to him, right, that he controls when he whistles, right? I didn't know that was his brother because I didn't know his name. If I would have seen his name, especially his last name, I would have, yeah, connected the dots. But it's like, boy, did I ever feel stupid when I first found that out? Because I'm like watching it, and it was like an interview. I think no, it wasn't an interview. It was they were doing like the Google search. You know, what's the silliest thing people search for, and they were doing that, and then I realized that they were brothers, and I was like, what? Mind blown. Like, I had no idea. Like, I must have been living under a rock. But like I said, I didn't know his real name. I just know his character's name, and he will always be Kirk to me, right? Yeah. So yeah, but James Gunn, you know, he's fantastic. I like him. I know there are people that like, you know, Snyder, but you know what? Snyder, okay, Zack Snyder, okay, who did I think he did Man of Steel, right? And he did all three: Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League. They're friends, you know, they're friends. Yeah. So it's like people like online, you know, like think that, because I've heard a lot of people think that, oh, he's weak, it shows him as weak, and oh, it's the worst movie, and it's like, no, like, you have to, like, go see it to understand, like, but we'll get into all of it. So yeah, there's been a lot going on social media wise, which is why I want to write down everything. But yeah, when I heard James Gunn's name attached to it, I was like, okay, very hopeful. Okay, that's going in the right direction, especially for a DC movie. And then I saw the trailer, and I was like, and it was nobody spoke, it was just music, and I was like, oh my gosh, this looks good. And then the next trailer a few weeks later, it was people speaking. I actually heard them, because because Lex Luthor looked really good, the guy who plays Lex Luthor, and he looked really good. But it's like, okay, I need to hear him speak. I need to see him act, because I am going to be critical. I've loved Superman since Christopher Reeve, since I was 5. Okay, it was love at first sight, even though Christopher Reeve didn't know that, but it was love at first sight. So that's why it's like, you gotta get it right, and they did. Nicholas Hoult, who plays Lex Luthor, nailed it. He is my second favorite Lex Luthor, right next to Rosenbaum, Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville there. Yeah. Yep, and then I got excited. It was like, oh my gosh, yes, come on, July 11th. And we saw it, and we wanted to see it again. Okay, we loved it so much. I was grinning through the whole movie. I had a smile on my face, okay? I was so happy. I felt like a kid again. Like, it's been a long time since we got a good Superman movie, and thank you, James Gunn. You delivered it. We got a very good Superman movie that reminded me of Christopher Reeve super movie. And after we were done, like, we were on cloud 9. We were so happy. We wanted to see it again. We wanted to, like, okay, let's watch it again. It was just so good. So yeah, don't listen to what the negative people say, all the negative comments. Just go see it. It's just really good. Everybody has an opinion about it. But yeah, because people, it's ridiculous, because people, okay, one thing I noticed, people make fun of his outfit because he's wearing trunks. Christopher Reeve wore trunks. And I remember when Henry Cavill, his image, okay, when we first saw the image of him in the Superman suit, okay, he had no trunks. And I remember people complaining about that. So it's like, do you wear trunks or do you not wear trunks? You know what? It doesn't matter, because people are going to complain one way or the other. People always have to complain about something. And to them, I say, zip it. I like the trunks. I didn't mind Henry Cavill, so that worked too, But his suit, to me, was like Christopher Reeve's suit, but a little bit of an upgrade. And it was like, yes, I liked it. Now, of course, like, when we first see him, he does appear weak, okay? He got his butt kicked, okay? But, I don't want to give any major spoilers away. There's a reason, he's kind of getting his butt kicked, and, like, Lex Luthor studied his moves in his fights, so that's also why he kind of gets his butt kicked. And he's kind of outnumbered, So, yeah, but James Gunn did mention in an interview that he was going to be more vulnerable and, like, more on the emotional side. And I actually like that, because it makes him more relatable, And the thing that we love about it, though, is that, yeah, okay, he got his butt kicked, and he went back to the ice fortress to heal up, and he wasn't even 100% healed, but he still went back out there to fight. He doesn't give up. He gets back up, and we love that, and he fights the good fight. Heck, he even tried to convince Lex Luthor goons, you don't have to listen to Lex Luthor, it's never too late. And that's why we love him. He loves humanity. And the people were like, he saved a squirrel. Yeah, I know. Do you think I'm happy about that scene? He saved a stinking squirrel. I've had a squirrel in my house, so squirrels are not on my nice list, okay? But it's like, yeah, so what? He saved a squirrel. Christopher Reeve in his movie, guess what? He saved a cat in a tree. He cares about all humanity, all creatures. You know, and I think people making those comments, like, either never seen the Christopher Reeve movies or they haven't watched them a long time and forget. I haven't watched them a long time either, but I remember certain things about them. You know, I want to watch them. I have the DVDs. I need to watch them. Yeah. You know, and it's just like, it's just all, out of all the things to, like, you know, fuss about, you know, complain about, and it's that. But yeah. Okay, and that there was no origin story. I like that, because we all know what happened, okay, to Krypton. Okay, it was here one day, gone the next. Okay, it went boom, boom. Okay, Krypton no longer exists. And I like that. You don't have to wait 20 minutes for him to become, you know, figure out, you know, okay, I'm Superman. You know, he's already Superman. He was already on Earth for 3 years. Okay. Oh, and like his outfit, okay, so David, who plays Superman, David Cornsweet, that's his last name, Cornsweet. He mentioned that the reason, like, Superman is, like, wears the trunks and that why he's all colorful on that is because Superman wants kids to approach him, you know, if they need help. And I'm like, yes, that's a good point. Because even for me, if I was going to ask a Superman for help, who am I going to ask? David Cornsweet as Superman or Henry Cavill? I'm going with the colorful one, the bright colorful one. Because Henry Cavill, his Superman was really serious, you know, like those movies are more for a mature audience. And if you have a younger kid, you know, who's like, say maybe like 6, you can take them to see this movie. There are a couple things in it, you know, but it's not bad, you know. I don't think I would take, if my kids were 6, I wouldn't take them to see Man of Steel or, well, I don't think Man of Steel may have been okay, but I don't know, Batman versus Superman, I don't know, like, you know, it's just, yeah, they've watched them, they're old enough, they've watched all those movies, but I don't think I would have taken them if they were, like, around 6 years old, right? But this one, you can't. Like, I never got to watch Christopher Reeve on the big screen. And if there's any movie people listening, watching this, can you please get on this ASAP? Can you please release Christopher Reeve movies, even if it's just the first one, release them to the theaters for a certain amount of time so we can, like, go experience that for the first time, you know, on big screen, because I would absolutely love that. Back in high school, I remember they did that with Star Wars with 4, 5, 6. Before 1, 2, 3 came out, they released the 4, 5, 6, and that was amazing seeing those on big screen, because I wasn't around for them when they came out, you know. So it's like, it was amazing to see them on big screen. So yeah, let's do that with the Christopher Reeve, right? So yeah, I watched Christopher Reeve on VHS or if it aired on TV, his movies, and I fell in love with him right away. Like I said, love at first sight. I mean, how could you not? He was so handsome. Like, he was drop dead gorgeous, that man. He really was. And yeah, and like, you know, that was my Superman. He still is my Superman. It's very close tie, because David Cornsweet does such a wonderful job, especially when you watch him in interviews. You can see why James Gunn picked him to play Superman, because he doesn't embody Superman. It's like, yeah, you're Superman. He's a very close second. I mean, it's really close tie between Christopher Reeve and David Cornsweet. It really is. It is. Like, he's just so good. It's like, oh my gosh, do I put him at number 1? You know, it's like, I think it's very close tie. Yeah. I know. And then when I watched my first big screen Superman movie was, unfortunately, Superman Returns. I've always said that was like the worst Superman movie, but then I remembered the second worst. The worst Superman movie was Superman 4, that one. Yeah. Then this one, and then probably Superman 3. Yeah. I loved Brian Wolf. I think he did a great job. I think they were trying to, you know, kind of have like a Christopher Reeve kind of look alike, which nothing wrong with that, but there's only one Christopher Reeve. But I think he still did a great job, but the storyline sucked, because it's supposed to be a sequel. It's supposed to take after, right, right after Superman 2, you know, so he went off to find Krypton, only to discover that there was nothing left, of course. I could have told him that, you know, and he came back. And the thing was, like, that Lois Lane, I forget her name, but in that movie, I think she's like a Nobel Prize winner, and she didn't even put two together. You know, like, Clark Kent was missing for 5 years. Superman was missing for 5 years. Oh, Superman returns. Oh, so does Clark Kent. Like, hello, connect the dots. You know, it's pretty sad. You know, you're supposed to be this amazing reporter and you're not connecting the dots. You know, no. And so he comes back to a world, you know, saying that, oh, do we really need Superman, right? And he finds out that she was pregnant and she had a son, which was it's his son. So I didn't really like what they did there, you know. And of course, Kevin Spacey, I didn't like his Lex Luthor personally. I just didn't like it. And I saw that movie twice. I went by myself, and then I think I went again with my dad. And then I think I tried to convince myself, okay, I'll buy it on DVD and I'll try to watch it. I'm like, oh, you could just watch it. But no, I couldn't, you know. But the plane scene is the amazing scene when he lands the plane. But like, Lois Lane was getting tossed in the back, and you're telling me she did not have a broken or like bruised rib from getting tossed around back there? Like, no, I guess not. Movie magic. But yeah, and then I saw Henry Cavill's Superman. Man of Steel, I enjoyed it. It was good. I didn't really enjoy Batman versus Superman or Justice League, not as much. It's like, so Man of Steel, I will watch again, but the other two I won't, because they're a little bit too dark for my liking. And like, he was really angry in those movies. Especially the second one when I brought him back from the dead. And it's like, give him a coffee with 2 espresso shots, please. Or maybe 3, you know? Don't hold back on the espresso, just unlimited, just, you know, yeah, because they're just really dark and just, you know, wasn't, but that's more like a, you know, more mature audience, right? This new movie was like for, like, you can take your kids to see it, yeah. And there are people that, oh, it's not Henry Cavill, I'm not going to see it. Well, then you're missing out. I'm going to see every single Superman movie, okay, for as long as I'm on this earth, okay? So, good or bad. So, anyways, yeah. So, alright. I talked about that. Yes, it does appear weaker. Talked about that. Okay. Alright, so Dean Cain, he gave an interview. And the thing is, Dean Cain was on a Michael Rosenbaum podcast. Michael Rosenbaum has 2 podcasts. One about Smallville, Talkville, and the one Inside Out. They're playing Roblox, that's why they're loud. Okay, I'm going to try and get through the rest of this quick, before they get too loud. Okay, so Dean Cain was on Michael Rosenbaum's second podcast, Inside You, a couple months ago, and he was a really joy to listen to. Like, some people you can just, you know, sit there and listen to and like just really enjoy it, right? And Dean Cain comes out with this interview, and I'm like, what the heck, Dean Cain? Like, what the heck? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Now, Dean Cain, his Superman's kind of low on my list. He never was a favorite. Sorry. Sorry. He wasn't. He was okay. But if I was to put Superman's, you know, on a list, he'd be a little bit towards the bottom. Maybe like 6, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Because definitely Christopher Reeve, David Cornsweet, Tyler from Superman, Superman, is it Superman and Lois? Tyler Hoechlin, I think. He is really good. and then Henry Cavill, and then Brandon Routh. So yeah, he would probably be number 6. And no, not Tom Welling, because Tom Welling didn't play Superman, he played Clark Kent. I get so mad when I see that in comments sections. Yeah, it's like, no, that was CGI. Well, because he opened up his shirt, right? He did that, and it's like, no, that was CGI, and it was only half his suit, so no, it doesn't count. He's Clark Kent. Tom Welling himself said he played Clark Kent, not Superman, so, but yeah, number 6, so I would probably put it on number 6, yeah. But anyways, he said Hollywood made the character too woke. Okay, and he thinks it's going to hurt numbers on the movie because I guess James Gunn called Superman an immigrant, but it's like he's from another planet, so it kind of does make him an immigrant. And it has done well in the numbers. As of right now, it's over 400 million, so it's done well in the second week. Yeah, and he's just not a fan of the direction Hollywood has taken Superman, but he's rooting for it to be a success. And if you want, just Google Dean Cain, interview, and it'll come up. But it was like, yeah, okay. And for it to be woke, I don't think it is woke. That was like a lot. I keep hearing that it was woke. I don't think it is. This movie was done being filmed like 6 months before who took office. And it's not really political. Like, yeah, there are like similarities to what's going on right now, but it's not like slap you in the face political. So in my opinion, I don't think it's woke. And then another thing I see, okay, on social media, Henry Cavill, okay, because I remember when The Rock, I don't like The Rock. I don't. Oh my gosh, there was a time he was in every movie, and like he really can't act. He has 2 facial expressions, it's just how he keeps getting jobs, I don't know. Because I remember when he was doing Black Adam, and he made a big deal, oh, Henry Cavill's gonna come back, and he was gonna fight Henry Cavill, and I was excited that Henry Cavill was gonna come back, because I do like Henry Cavill as Superman, especially after I heard that his nephew in school said that his uncle was Superman, and the students and the teacher didn't believe him. So Henry Cavill's sister called him and told him, and Henry Cavill went to his school dressed as Superman. So that is like, yes, that is what you do. Like, you might not be Superman anymore, but you were Superman, okay? And that's why, okay? Like, you did that. Like, that is, that's what Superman would do. So, it's just, yeah. Not even a teacher, like, gee whiz. But The Rock, he teased it, and that his character was going to fight Henry Cavill, and I was excited Henry Cavill was going to come back, but I was like, why is his character fighting Superman? Does The Rock know his character is a bad guy? I don't think he does. I don't think he knows comics, or superheroes at that, because why would he be fighting Superman? If he was going to be fighting anyone, he'd be fighting Shazam. Black Adam is Shazam's villain. So it's like, it didn't make sense, okay? And then they announced it, okay, like, so with James Gunn, I found this out recently, James Gunn was assigning, okay, to, take over DC, to redirect DC into the right direction. And at the time, they heard, like, what happened to Henry Cavill, and he admits wasn't right, because someone announced that he was back as Superman. And I'm like, if people in the comments thought the same thing, The Rock, right? The Rock. It was The Rock, right? And he also said that someone was trying to take control. And it's like, it was The Rock, right? Yeah, it was Dwayne Johnson, right? He was trying to take over, right? It was him, right? Because that was my first thought, and people in the comments said the same thing. So it's like, yeah, it was The Rock, right? Yeah. Oh, but they talked to Henry and sorted everything out. But James Gunn would like to see him somewhere in a DC movie. Yeah. But it was The Rock, right? The Rock got involved and tried to take over, right? Yeah. But it just didn't make sense, because it's like, you should be having Shazam fight you. Why are you fighting Superman? Like, I don't know. Yeah. And then like his parents. So there were a couple of things that reminded me of Smallville. Okay. His parents' message did not go the way people thought was gonna go. Okay, their message was to not to help the people, but to take over. To take over and conquer the human race. Yeah. Did that surprise me? No, because that was a storyline in Smallville. Okay, but Jor-El wanted Clark Kent. Like, oh, that's your destiny. But Clark Kent took lead of his own destiny. You know, he chose his own destiny. And because he was raised by two good people, you know, who taught him values and, you know, how to be kind, he didn't turn out, you know, evil. You know, yeah, he loved humanity, right? He wanted to be part of, yeah, our role, not take over it. But yeah, people were like, and I think that's like in the comic books too. But that wasn't a surprise to me, because like, oh, Smallville. And also Smallville was assigned Luthor Corp. Yeah. And instead of Lex Corp, it was Luthor Corp. I'm like, oh, Smallville. So I love that how James Gunn even mentioned that, yeah, he took things from past Superman. And I like that. I think that is, you know, like a tribute, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And then like, you know, like, for the people complaining, it's like, you know what Christopher Reeve's son said about the movie? He said that his dad would love it. His dad would love it. And I agree, he would. I think he would love it. Yeah. You know, and it's just like, why can't we all just get along? You know, like, you know, I know, like, we all prefer our own different Supermans, and that's okay. Some people prefer Henry Cavill, they prefer Snyder, you know, and it's like, that's fine, but I prefer James Gunn. You know, it's light. Oh, and it was funny, and people thought it was corny. Yeah, I know, I heard that word tossed around. Oh, that the movie was, you know, corny because it was humorous, and yeah, so because there's a part where Mr. Terrific, you know, he's like to Superman, quit lying around, you know, get to work, something like that. And Superman goes, I'm not lying around, I'm busy, you know, he just finished fighting off, you know, the bad guy. But Mr. Terrific didn't see that, right? So he just saw him lying around catching his breath for a couple of minutes, and that was funny, that was cute. And it's like people go watch the Christopher Reeve movies because they're funny too. There's funny lines in there, and like one of my favorite ones is in the second movie when he goes back to the truck stop because he has his powers back, and he kicks the truck driver's butt. You know, he pushes him across the table, the island there, and I think it's like I don't know if it's a jukebox or a pinball machine, but he crashes into that, and then Clark, you know, just like, you know, goes, I've been working out. You know? It's just so funny because before he got his butt kicked, right, and all of a sudden he comes back, and all of a sudden he's like 100 times more stronger, and he kicks the truck driver's butt, and the people are like, you know, you're the same guy, and he just goes like that, and I've been working out, and it's like, I love that. It's like my favorite part. Oh no. I just say, when people say that, it's like, I think back to that, it's like, go watch the Christopher Reeve movies, you know. But yeah, I love it. Oh, and another thing Dean Cain didn't like, they changed, because Superman used to say truth, justice, and American way. Well, they changed that to Truth, Justice, and Better Tomorrow. I think he said the American way just was like more immigrant friendly. But I actually like, you know, Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow. I think that sounds better. I prefer that. Plus, the American way, that was done in World War II. So, yeah. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I loved it. I want to go see it again. I'm excited to see what's in store for the future of DC. You know, Supergirl is next year, and there is a lot, and I'm just excited. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for another Stn Main movie. I can't wait for the DVD to come out. I can watch it over and over again. Yeah, yeah. But everybody did such a great job. The casting was perfection. It really was. Yeah, yeah. I just love it. Yeah. Well, I think I covered everything. Maybe a little bit mini spoilers, but nothing major. Kind of hard not to spoil anything while talking about it. You know, but yeah, I love it. I think it's my new favorite Superman movie. Yeah, maybe. So, it's so good. And plus, you know, what people don't stop to think about, that David Cornsweet is going to be today's kids, today's generation Superman, and I love that. That is amazing, you know. And it's just and if you're a Superman fan, that should get you excited, you know. That should make you happy, right? Like, because it's just like, I think some people just think that no, only like one character like Henry Cavill can play Superman, and it's like, Superman is for a whole bunch of people. Anybody can play him. You know, like, as long as it's right, as long as the casting is right. But, you know, it's just, yeah, just because there's somebody else new, it's not Henry Cavill, like, I'm sorry, you know. But you do age out of that role, and Henry Cavill is doing pretty good himself. He just had a daughter, so he's doing pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure which my boy's favorite Superman is yet, but yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be today's kids Superman. Yeah, and I love that. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, okay, so that's it for this video. I'm not sure how long it is. I hope I remembered everything. Yeah, that's just, you know, my thoughts and what I've heard in the media side of it. You know, and it's like, oh my gosh, especially after it comes out, that's when you hear everything. But yeah. But Will Weave, who also had a little cameo in the movie, you know, and people were like, oh, how come he's not Superman? Because he doesn't want to act. He's a correspondent for ABC. You know, it's like, that's why. He doesn't want to act like his dad. He wants to do his own thing. Like, not hard to understand, you know. Yeah. Yeah, but he said Christopher Reeve would love it. And I think he would. Yeah, if he was still here with us, he would. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just love it. I cannot wait for Supergirl. Her story might be her story is gonna be a little bit more, I don't know, maybe darker, but because she did not have the same upbringing as Clark didn't, and she saw her planet explode. So she has trauma, okay, that she has to sort through. Yeah, so, but super fun, attended, excited to see that next year. I'm just excited to see all the other superhero movies, you know. Yeah, whatever James Gunn has planned. Yeah. Anyways, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed chit-chatting about Superman. Like I said, I could talk about him all day. I love him. Yep. Not his deal. I don't know. And there was that one scene with him in the clouds. Okay. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, goosebumps and chills. I was like, what was that kind of scene? Because, like, you know, he was gonna kick butt. Yeah, he was like, yeah, he was gonna kick butt. He just saved somebody, and that was like the next scene. I was like, oh my gosh, it was just one of those scenes. And like, my favorite like scene is like the movie poster with him and Crypto on the moon, and they're looking out on Earth. I want that print. I've already looked on Etsy, but I only see horizontal. I want vertical, but it's still early, so hopefully somebody comes up with a print that is, you know, vertical. I don't want horizontal. So yeah, I'm feeling, because I would love that print. I just love it. I just love it. It's just a back of him and like a cape and crypto, and they're sitting on the edge of the moon, you know, and like looking out on Earth, you know. It's just, I love it. So I would love that print. But yeah, him in the clouds, that would be, maybe that'd be a nice print to add to to like what I want. I know. Yeah, but it was just like, it was just powerful. Like it was like, because you knew he was gonna kick butt, but it was like, oh yeah, goosebumps. Yeah. Anyways, I think James Gunn did a fabulous job, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Yeah. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys next fun video. I'm not sure that will be. I'm going to visit my dad with my mom tomorrow. He is still in the hospital. He is getting better. We thought he had a procedure last week, but he had something else done, and they didn't get to what they were supposed to do. They ran out of time, so they still gotta do that. So we thought we were waiting on test results, but no. It's just, you know, that's the frustrating part. But he does seem like cheerful and in a better mood. So yeah, and we still are standing firm in our faith that God will move and do a miracle. Yeah, because we know that his time is not up yet. God's not done with him yet. So, but yeah, we're doing that tomorrow, and then grocery shopping the next day, and then Fantastic Four comes out this weekend, so I know Katie's gonna want to see that and probably get the popcorn bucket. My popcorn bucket for the Superman one, I found out the red one that's like the Daily Planet newspaper stand. That one would have been around the $32 mark with tax, but mine was like the second most. Yeah. But I'm happy I got it. I wish they had the red one, the red mailbox one. I'm not sure if they did. They sold out. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see what they have for Fantastic Four. I know I'm not getting the Galactus one, because that one I heard is $80. Yeah, that's right, 8 and a 0. No, thank you. Even though I'm sure it's worth every penny, because it does look pretty cool, but no, it's okay. I know there's another one with Mr. Fantastic, and his arm is like wrapped around the bucket, so maybe they'll have that one. We'll see. Anyways, you're okay. I'll see you guys next video. Take care, be blessed, and ta-ta for now. Bye. Go see Superman.